Student Body President, Jocelyn Cardenas.
And I'm your Student Body Secretary, Austin Hill.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and for a quick moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
Thank you, and now it's time for DETV.
Coming up on today's show, FBLA comes home with some big awards.
And we look at an upcoming annual fair that allows students the opportunities to learn about career options.
And Vaughn will revisit a tragic event from 1986 that took the life of a high school teacher. All that and more is coming up on today's show. Hello Desert Edge, today is Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. I'm Zoe.
And I'm Devin. Welcome to DETV, the voice of Desert Edge High School.
We have a great show lined up for today. Before we kick things off, let's see what's serving for lunch in the cafeteria.
Today we have a chicken pozole with diced onions, cilantro, cabbage, and fresh salsa, round tortilla chips, churros, and a variety of fruit.
The lunch today will be piping hot.
Speaking of hot, the sun is the center of our solar system, and the solar system is the topic of today's question.
Today's question of the day is, which planet is the hottest in the solar system?
Speaking of heat, our men's soccer team has been on fire.
The team has been practicing day in and day out in the heat, and it looks like it's all about to pay off. Let's go to today's announcements. Varsity men's soccer team has been working tirelessly thus far this season. The players are currently off to an 8-win, 1-tie start to the season and ranked 7th in the state. This week, they enter into the region matches for the last 4 games of the season. They have 2 home games remaining, Thursday, January 30th versus Cactus at 6 p.m. and February 10th versus Deer Valley at 6 p.m. The soccer team would love to have an extra support for their final push towards playoffs and senior night. The soccer team aren't the only ones working hard. Our tennis team is working hard and has opened a new e-store. Students and staff can get their tennis swag from now until February 10th. The store is located at www.bsnteamsports.com/shop/DE-tennis20.
This year's annual Community Career Classic and Career Fair is an event that allows students the opportunity to learn and hear about various career options presented by people in the local community. The fair is on Friday, March 6th. In addition to the Community Career Classic, during Power Hour there will be a career fair in the courtyard where students will have the chance to explore different companies and job opportunities post-graduation. This past Saturday, 12 members of the FBLA Graphics Club competed in the regional competition in Wickenburg. At the end of the day, 4 different competitions. 4 students came with medals. Congratulations out to Damien Hugel for placing 3rd place in agribusiness, and to Patrick Bajan, Austin Shelton, and Kenny Thomas for 3rd in Battle of the Chapters. The Cultural Youth Acceptance Club, formerly the Black Student Union, is sponsoring a field trip to the Black Student Leadership Conference at the Arizona State Capitol in downtown Phoenix on February 14th, 2020. The club is looking for students who have no DS or FS, or FIS, and an interest in learning about African American leadership. The coach bus will leave Desert Edge at 7:30 a.m. and return at 1:30 p.m. Students must also attend at least 2 CYA meetings, including a mandatory meeting on Tuesday, February 11th, and a mandatory meeting Thursday, February 13th. Interested students can speak to either Mrs. Garden at C15 or Mrs. Russell at A13 between now and February 11th to be placed on our field trip list and be emailed updates. Regularly scheduled meetings take place every Tuesday during the second half of Power Hour in room C15.
Now it's time to get latest in DE sports.
Ryan Baker joins us now.
Ryan?
Guys, let's start by talking hoops. The varsity boys basketball Scorpions are currently ranked 11 with a record of 13-4. Tonight they face Deer Valley at home at 7 p.m. The varsity action will be preceded by the freshman team at 4 p.m. and the JV team at 5:30. Meanwhile, the girls team will be in Deer Valley with freshmen playing at 4, JV at 5:30, and varsity taking the court at 7 p.m. I, for one, can't wait to get out and cheer on the boys' varsity team tonight. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Ryan.
Vaughn is in the studio now with another dose of history.
Today marks a tragic day in the history of the U.S. space program.
Tell us more, Vaughn.
It was a tragic day for NASA and the space program back in 1986 today. The Challenger was a part of the Space Shuttle series, which used reusable rocket boosters to propel the ship into space. The ship would land like a typical airplane. The mission was the first to include a civilian, high school history teacher Tristan McClough, and which was chosen to be part of the mission from thousands of applicants. Unfortunately, with many school children across the country watching live in libraries and classrooms around the nation, the rocket boosters failed and exploded, killing all 7 of the crew members. The death of the crew and the destruction of the shuttle was a horrible tragedy, but because of the destruction, it changed the way that we build rockets today, and now the Space Shuttle class rocket is a very common type of ship for space travel. That's it for me. Back to you.
Well, we've had some time to think about today's question of the day. The question was, what planet is the hottest in our solar system?
And the answer is Venus, the second planet in our solar system. Venus's average temperature is a sweltering 846 degrees Fahrenheit.
Man, that is hot. I thought Arizona summers were bad.
Well, thankfully, we have a few months before we have to deal with those summer temps. Braxton Matson is in the studio now to tell us more how weather will be shaping up.
It looks like it's going to be pretty cool this week, Brax.
Yeah, it is going to be a little cool, but it should be pretty nice out. Let's start looking at today's state temps. So everything this week is pretty average, normal around the state, not really much to talk about. And then today in normal school, it's about 60 degrees outside. You can wear a jacket, might not. Really kind of just depends on how you feel outside. And then this week's temps, so we have about lows in the 40s and highs about the 70s. That's all I have today. So back to you guys in the studio.
That does it for today.
Remember that you can send us requests, suggestions, story ideas, and announcements to detv2012@gmail.com.
Until next time, I'm Zoe.
And I'm Devin. Have a great day, Scorpions.